2021 was a big year for remodelers and builders, and the pandemic just affected supply chains in ways that we never could have fathomed. I've talked to a number of local builders and remodelers on some of the biggest items that are really dragging projects behind. And today I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 items locally here in Iowa City that are holding people back. Now I have Jason Deppe here, and he runs the remodel division for Elevation Home Builders. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Let's just dive right in. So number 5 is paint. Now I understand now the 2 big things in paint are CHB, which is what you use on like ceilings and stuff. You can't find it. And then duration paint on the exterior, which is Sherwin-Williams top of the line paint. That's even on back order. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing on paints and some of the project delays.
Well, some of it's just hit or miss. Some of the CHB, you can go in and Sherwin-Williams and they might have it, they might not. And some of it you need to buy in bulk. But they were talking a couple months ago, we weren't gonna have anything really back in stock until December.
So how do you work with customers then? You just kind of tell them, hey, we're gonna wait to start projects until we can order the paint. We know we have it before we start, or?
Well, with paint specifically, they've been working on different lines as well. So there's different products out there that do similar things for us.
So you just kind of do a workaround and find other alternate product. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, number 4 is appliances. And appliances are a big one.
Yes.
I see that a lot in the luxury new build market. It seems like all the luxury appliances, most of the factories like GE will focus on their like mainstream line, but then they're like cutting the cord then on their high-end ones. Tell me what you're doing with appliances.
Well, appliances and fixtures as well. I mean, you get into like Kohler and some of the other plumbing fixtures, and they're cutting back on some of their higher end lines just so that they can focus on the main items that they sell. But you know, you get into appliances and people are very particular about what they want. You know, if you want to get high end, that's what you want to get. And right now you just have to hold tight and wait for it.
And you've already segued it into what number 3 is. Number 3 is plumbing fixtures. Now, plumbing fixtures, I understand that Moen and Delta, 2 of your biggest companies, they're just stopping to make specialty order plumbing fixtures, which are those are the ones that you buy for like your higher end homes and remodels. They're only focusing on the big box store items like they sell at Lowe's and Home Depot. And those are kind of cheaper, you know, what you do in like a track house. But you can't get any plumbing fixtures. I understand they're how many months out? Like months and months out, right?
Yeah, some of it is, I mean, it's more on the lines of undefined. Like you put in your order and you might get it in a few months.
So the biggest challenge for plumbing fixtures is when you do the rough in, you have to have the cap for the specific model plumbing fixture that you're gonna do the finished trim kit on.
Yeah.
So are you finding yourself putting in a rough in and then having to rip it out and then redo the rough in because that model didn't have the trim kit at the end, or do you just kind of order it all up front?
Well, you want to order it all up front, but B, there has been some situations where we do have to wait. I think so far, the longest has been 3 or 4 weeks. But it's still, yeah, because it stops the project where it is. You can only go so far at that point.
Well, the other item that I just laugh because when you drive around, I see this all the time, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of insight into this, but exterior doors and garage doors. I mean, like garage doors, really? Like why? But you can't order them right now. Yeah. How many months out are you on garage doors and exterior doors?
I want to say garage doors right now, especially once you get into the more specific higher end, you know, windows, 6 months.
And the reason I'm laughing is because you'll drive through construction sites, and wood, of course, prices have gone up, but builders and remodelers are putting wood sheathing over the entries for the doors and the windows, and it's funny to look at, but it's not as funny when you think about how expensive it is that they're wasting this wood just as a temporary fix to a huge shortage item.
Yeah, I mean, it's a workaround. It's not the best situation, or it's not the best fix for the situation, and we'd rather not, but at the end of the day, you gotta just go forward.
Well, you know, hopefully there's some end in sight. But the number one item that people are complaining about right now locally is cabinets. Now, cabinets have been a big nightmare. Tell us a little bit about cabinets.
Cabinets, yeah, where to start with that? So initially, a year ago, 2 years ago, you could have gotten cabinets in 2 to 4 weeks. Pretty quick turnaround, much faster.
So you start a project, once the walls are roughed in, cabinets have to be measured on site.
They need to be specific.
And so, because you're getting them to the inch or whatever, custom made. And so you measure it, and you order it, and they come in and you install it. Do you think there's any end in sight on all these supply chain issues, or?
I don't know if there is or isn't, but at the end of the day, cabinets have stabilized for us. And you're right, I think I found out at one point they were 12 weeks out, and then a week later they were 14, and then a week later they were like 18 to 20. And so I was emailing clients back to back to back, just bad news, bad news, bad news. But that was about 2 months ago, and I think it's stabilized from then. And I think at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into, and you just have to sit tight.
Well, and that's what I think surprises me the most is, despite all these headaches, these supply chain issues and stuff you're dealing with, have you seen any let up on demand for how many people want remodels?
No, absolutely not. I think it's going up.
You think it's increasing?
Yeah.
So despite all the headaches, people just just go ahead and do it.
Despite the cost increases, despite the longer wait times, despite everything on the news, they're just like every day. It just seems like there's a higher and higher demand.
And isn't that incredible? That's almost the story. I mean, that's just surprising to me. But, well, thank you for taking the time today. Keep up the good work, and I hope you're having fun at least while you're doing all this.
It's entertaining.
Well, thanks for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like or comment below if you have questions. If you're interested in hiring Jason for your next project, I have his information in the description below. Thanks for watching.